most of the things here. So here's the thing. We also let's see, Dokkan Awaken the plateau because I like it. All right. So let's look at the characters here. Quite a few units we are going for part two, and some I missed out on part. Um, Awaken. I think there's some fingers crossed that I can. And do I have any? Oh, actually, I've done all. We'll have to get to those soon. However, there's a few other units we need to work on because they have easy A's coming up. This being one in particular, I believe he has one in part 3. Okay. But as far as part 2 is concerned, the first unit to work on is our future Gohan. I do believe he has an easy 8 coming up. He needs 77. So let's go ahead. Get started on this. And I'm just gonna run a new team to be honest, because we're not that big. Not that big of a deal to run on this because I believe this stage itself should be pretty easy. Let's get this. I will say, even though these units, they're older, but they're not that old, their lifespan on it wasn't that great. It didn't last that long, in my opinion. So go ahead, let this auto. So we'll do. We're gonna have to run a few regular. We're gonna have to do this about 11 times, unfortunately, because this some of the TURs ridiculous the amount of medals they require to upgrade. Yeah. Run this real quick. That was it is. Okay, it's working. Everything's working. Some active skills, shall we? There. Okay. Don't have as high as some other some of those friends I have.
All right, let's do this.
Way up there. So learning. There's much I originally thought. All the skill, the way your teams are lined up, and their rotations actually matters. And I didn't know that, so now I have a whole section to learn about this game. I'm excited for it. Border system for this. Because just having the like the black like shading on the side kind of bother. So I'm gonna have to I can't find something liven up the screen just a kind of because this event theme saga. I wonder how many. Do I even have because some of the that was like third. Right, little ways to go.
Let's do this.
Little ways to go. All right. So, oh, I was saying. Trying to be careful. So, apparently, according to the Dokkan wiki, there is a stage coming up. You have to participate in, and if you do, you get more stones. Like that. But the stage only allows you to use Saga. Hoping that's why I brought it up earlier. I'm hoping I have enough to make a feature Saga team to that. I'm a free to play player, so any stones that I get, that I come across, always a bonus. enjoy that Master Chief. Believe it or not, he was a free unit. Like, you could just play the game to earn him. You didn't have to, like, actually, you know, summon for him or anything like that. And sometimes you get lucky with those kinds of units. Sometimes those units are, not all the time, it's definitely not all the time. It's very few and far between, but sometimes the free units are actually decent. Or at least I enjoy them. I think after this one, I'm gonna see if. Okay. Let me see if I can put together. So, I don't know why I back out of it. Search. Saga, there we are. That's okay. Have could be better, but you know, I think it'll do the job for now. Let's do this. And we'll get into a little more difficult content later. I don't have, you know, a lot of units, but I think I have enough to at least show you what I mean as far as placement of units, where they are. So I could do it now. I could beat this either way, as you can see, but to kind of, for those of you who haven't played before or thinking of playing, so teams are based off of grouping. Like, they'll have, there's that Future Saga, Realm of Gods. They'll let you know what team they're a part of. You can also do the search function that I just did earlier. And what you want to do is you put kind of team together, see if they each. Okay, so for instance, they're separated into categories and link skill. The category tells you that it's kind of the team name, which is the search I showed. Here's kind of category. Now within that category, you also want to see how many of these. So when a character is next to each other, they get more powerful depending if they share link skills and how many link skills they share. So you want to make sure these link skills, you know, there's ways to look just by playing, you level them up, but sometimes Dokkan releases special stages to where, you know, it powers them up even more so that you can do it even faster. So that's something to consider as well when you're building a team. Now, this is what I meant by worrying about the placement of said characters. So, the passive skill will tell you something that they can do just based upon the team nature, where they're placed. So for instance, this particular character, he So if there's another bond of parent and child, which is where the category comes into play, ally attacking on the same turn, then he receives the buffs mentioned above that. And he also, you can kind of see, certain things throughout the battle. If you do certain things with him throughout the battle, then he'll get buffs as well as the battle goes on. So for him in particular, this is all he has. And see, so he needs to be the first. So some people need so for him to block everything or to do part of his passive, he needs to be the first in line. That's where I mentioned where they line up is important, because some of them will mention something like that where, hey, he needs to be this specific slot in order for this to activate. Let's see if you have it. So his isn't that, elaborate. Let's see. So yeah, taking the time to read these things, kind of seeing where they are, making sure, hey, do I need to place them specific spot? If I don't need to, then there are other conditions I need to do to, reach that. So taking the time to read it, you're not in a rush. They don't time you or anything in these battles. So just taking the time, reading, making sure the team is, situated perfectly for you to make sure, your team stands the best chance. Because this guy right here, okay, if he's the first slot, he has a better chance to block, which, hey, for success, less damage you take, the better. It's more of a reading thing than anything. Also, I am a sucker for games where I can summon and, summon for the best unit, or the banner unit for that. I'm a sucker. It's exciting to me. I love it. I don't know why. I know that explanation was a lot, but hopefully you kind of got the gist of, hey, just make sure you're reading the passive. So we'll do it again. Come over here. It's on entrance only. Large all text. Turn. Realm of God. So, plus an chance of bidding enemy's attack as the first attacker in a turn, plus an additional 100% an additional attack has a chance of becoming super attack second or third attack. So since I have two in the rotation, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let them go first and second, because with at least with first, higher defense and chance to dodge, and second, higher chance to do additional attacks. So it has these uses. It just depends on who you have with them on the rotation. They have some units have a lot more flexibility. Some units have very low flexibility, and some are good, but they're only good for that specific situation. So you kind of want to take your chances and kind of figure out how you want to play the game. And I will say, because I've been guilty of this and I'm learning to be better about it as of recently, some units that you think kind of like throw away or you don't really need them, Um, think again, because some of them have,
We did it, Trunks. Right.
you know, very good useful skills that you may not have read up on. I know for especially the TURs. The TURs are the ones where you really gotta make sure you're reading, because some of them have considered situation have really great abilities, and you're like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of them. All right, let's see here. All right, so that doesn't particularly work. Oh, we're gonna keep going though.
Let's do this.
Now, I will say for those of us who are turn that back on just for now, who are free to play, us checking the unit's description, even the LRs are just fun. It's more important for us because you can't be wasting time getting rid of units that you may need later, only to find that you deleted them because you thought, hey, there's no way this will ever be, you know, useful, only to find out it's useful, and now you have to wait for a banner to come around to then waste you stones to summon those again. So, we gotta pick or choose our moments. Alrighty. Now for these type of, you know, missions, I don't really have to worry about. You don't really have to worry about the positioning if you have, you know, once you get further into the game, because they're easy. They're early game type of situations. But when you start doing the in game stuff like red zones or cell max or extreme super battle roads, things like that, then rotations matter, passives matter, all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. So that is the final. That's the transfer. So when we're taking this unit, because we're trying to get him, the unit we're using, we're trying to get him what we call TUR. That's the third form. It's called TUR. You're usually taking on the unit itself, so you kind of get a sneak peek as to what they look like, what they do. So, the TUR that we're getting has a transformation. Some units have transformations, or which only makes them stronger. But yeah, that is what we're currently. So, for instance, these guys right here, and as you saw earlier, this guy right here, transformation. So let me see if I can. So they have a transformation, as you can. Extras? No, I don't have it. Right here. So if your unit ever has a transformation, they have a requirement that they must hit in order to transform. So as you see, his only requirement is you just have to make it to the 4th turn of battle. After that, he'll transform.
All right, let's do this.
Which isn't bad. And the transformations, a lot of them, when they have a transformation, that only just makes them stronger. But I will say, you will need to read their passive again, because I think almost every time they transform, the passive changes, so they operate a little differently. So make sure you're, just keeping an eye on that.
Trunks. Right.
And this is the transformation I was talking about. So some units, they'll have a little animation, and then bam, transformation. And now he'll have a totally new passive, and and generally the passive is also a little easier to obtain when they transform too. It's stronger and it's also a little easier to obtain. I'm just trying to think what all I can, well, information I can put out there. Trying to give people all the information that I wish I had when I started this game. Go. So right there, you saw how the passive took effect, because that character, when he's in second spot, as you reread earlier, he gets to attack more often. Well, he gets to do what we call additionals, where he does his original attack, and then because of where I had him, he gets more attacks on top of that. Now, I wish he would have additional supered, which is also a possibility because of his placement.
All
But
right,
beggars
let's
can't.
do this.
Sometimes it just takes that one small additional to win a stage. Not so far, so good. Well, some of these times, yeah, some of the time, the hardest part is just the repetitiveness, because, like I said, these stages are hard, but because I need 77 of these, and I only get 7 at a time, sometimes you just have to power through.
We did it, Trunks. Right.
So it's the reason why we're starting with this Gohan, I should say, okay, is because every so often, and I'll show you after this, when Dokkan believes that a character is useful but not as useful as they can be, and they want to keep certain units, up to date, and able to keep up with, most of the newer content, they'll release what's called an Extreme Z. Let me see how many I have. What am I 49. All right, I need to do it 4 more times. Not bad. Okay, but before we get into anything, so let's do this real quick. Start. Event. So we'll come back to that in just a moment. But they'll release what's called an Extreme Z. What this is, it's basically what we call a limit break. You'll complete a certain amount of levels. So for just normal Extreme Z's, beating level 30, you will have all the medals you need. For what we call LRs, they will release you'll have to get to level 11. But what these do is that they allow the character, so for just TURs, regular TURs, they allow you to
All right, let's do this.
allow regular just TURs to just go to level 40, but they also change their leader skills, they change other certain stats, possibly the passives. They also raise their level and raise, the level of super attack that you can go to. They do this. So for LRs, the LRs stay level 150, but they also change their leader skill. They might, add additional percentage to leader skills, but they also increase their super level and change some other things, possibly their passives as well. So basically just trying to make the character stronger. They don't do the same just for every character. It's from character to character. Some characters, Extreme Z's are much better than others. So Dokkan is, if you're ever curious about, okay, is this Extreme Z any good? You can just go to the website or go to what we call the Dokkan Wiki and go to that unit's easy aid and it'll tell.
We did it, Trunks. Right.
And then there it goes. So that's oh. Oh, come on. Got this. Let's get that out of the way. And we're gonna have to attempt it again because that was 1 out of 4.
All right, let's do this.
Good. Let's go ahead and knock these last few out. Because the thing is, you can't perform the Extreme Z unless the characters is in their final mode. So for LRs, they have to be LR, and for TRs, they have to be on the TOR stage, and then you can use the medals from the Extreme Z to then level them up. Which is why we should do this now before the Extreme Z comes out, so that way we can just go straight to beating the Extreme Z and you know go straight leveling as we don't normally would. Unfortunately, like I said, this is one of those units where, like I said, didn't think he was any good. I didn't get rid of him, he was always there, but I never bothered to level him up because I never thought anything of it, which is again one of those, you know, learning tools.
We did it.
I do believe
Right.
he should have. Okay. As you see, as you play with more of the link level go up, and that's only just gonna make your unit stronger, honestly. Let's see. It's 2.
All right. Let's do this.
Okay. Did he transform the stage? Not yet. Okay. I've seen some of that for his TU bar. He's not as good. I don't even know how good he's gonna be. I do know so far, if we compared him to the Zamasu that just got his Extreme Z, not even close. I wish I had that unit though. I really do. And there goes the dodge because, you know, of the slot he's in. Another perfect example of how that worked right there. And I do believe the reason why I'm doing these now is because for the 2 years I'm working actually released tonight. Well, I say tonight, it's really early morning, but done. So that way he's done. That way for tomorrow's stream, I could just jump right into that. and knock those out of the way. By the way, for each Extreme Z, no matter how you do it, if it's the LR version or this version, you get 30 stones for completing it. So for just a normal Extreme Z, you have to do the 30 levels. Obviously, you get a stone per level, so 30 stones. For the LR Extreme Zs, you get 3 per level, which still works out 30, but we call those free stones because those levels aren't ever too difficult, you know? So for us free-to-play players, the news of an Extreme Z coming out is always just great news. It's like Christmas, or free stones for us, which is also good because I do believe by next week part 2 should be releasing for us. I believe this is the last time we have to, so let's go ahead and get this knocked out.
All right, let's do this.
But yes, part 2 should be releasing, which means 2 new. Well, part 2 releases early morning. Extreme Z's is part 2, but the new banner for part 2 of the worldwide celebration should drop next week, I believe. With that being said, free stones always a plus. That means more summons for more new units. So and if you'll go ahead, sir, and just do this, we can.
We did it, Trunks.
Oh, thought he was gonna finish him there. He had been finishing every other time. All good. It's okay. Okay, so this should be very quick battle. Get this knocked out of the way. I do believe this is the last one. Okay, there we go. Let's see. That should be all done. But we're going to make sure. Gonna go with okay. On a team character list, and this is how you can just check on any of your list. Just go to team, a character list. If you see these locks on here, that means I favorited them, so I can't accidentally, you know, sell them. Let's see. Bring it to growth, awaken, and right there, right on the dot. to training. We'll go to
Incredible
auto, begin.
All right. Time for some training.
Now, the one thing I'm trying to do as of now is also level up my character's super attacks, because more often than not, they're going to super. And I would like for them to be as strong as possible when I'm going up against these in-game content. Okay, not exactly what I need. So we're gonna just do 3 and just confirm.
All right. Time for some.
Also, getting the super attack to at least level 10 allows you to go ahead and unlock another set we'll be looking at, which is called hidden potential. So this is basically how you can get your already strong characters even stronger. So once they hit the TUR, as I present here, by what we just did, once they hit the TUR step, you can then go into hidden potential. Hidden potential nodes are just nodes you can activate, so that way your unit gets a little stronger. We're going to go to the Gohan that I just did. Scroll up here. Where's he at? Right here. So, a little explanation. Each of these little nodes is part of an attribute. Blue, I believe, is defense. Green, I believe it's HP. Red, I believe, is attack. So, click activate all. As you'll see, their attack stats and everything rise. Now, you may be wondering, okay, why didn't all of these go off? That's because they are locked. Little symbols right here, you should be able to see right here. You need additional characters. So you need to get the same character multiple times to unlock these routes. And once you unlock these routes, it will allow you to make these characters even stronger. Now, with opening these routes, you also get access to what we see, these little glowing stars. Each character, depending on who they are, you would like to build them a certain way. So, if these stars all correlate to one of these symbols up here. So this is combo, which means basically if you add into this stat, it allows them to additional more often. This here means critical. Basically, how often when they attack will they hit a critical hit, the percent chance of them hitting a critical hit. This symbol means evasion, how often they can dodge an attack. I believe this is their key, how easily they can gain key. This is their type defense, so can they just become stronger against, you know, other types, especially the type they're weak against. This is your super attack. And then this is recovery boost. So when you're building, all of these correlate to one of these, and depending on how you like to build the character, you can, it'll bring up a little thing, and you can select what you would like to choose for that specific one. Some of them have 2, some of them have 3, but you'll pick one and it'll add to this stat. Another thing that'll add to these stats is the orbs. So as you can see here, I have just different little orbs of things, and then they're all marked with the same symbols. And if I add one, I'll add one for you guys real quick. Let's say I added level 3. Okay. Boom. Now that has upped this right here, his attack. And so on and so forth. You can just add these, and they'll adjust the stats accordingly. But yeah, it's just how you want to, you know, build your character. There's several tutorials, people on there who come out with, hey, this character's. This is what I would build. I would recommend for this character. And I suggest looking those up because it has saved me on numerous occasions. All right, so we completed some missions. Wonderful. So we completed the daily missions, which every day at reset, these will refresh, and you can just do the missions again and collect all of these rewards right here. Give me a moment. Auto. I do believe this is the second unit they could possibly. An Extreme Z Battle Awakening.
What incredible power!
But I'm not 100% sure. So we just need 5. But let me take a look very quickly. All right, we could do this right here. So if we take a look right here, the reason why we're doing these, so Dokkan will tell you basically these are the cards that are coming out. So let's take a look. This should be a new unit that's actually releasing soon. I do believe we'll check and see if I have this particular card, but I believe this might be getting an awakening. We'll see about that. But if we look right here, these are the units that are getting extreme Z, and they'll when the extreme Z, like the day before the extreme Z comes out, they'll tell you, and those are the units you'll have to work on, and so on and so on. But I think that's gonna do it today because I got some things to do off stream. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up those couple of units, and then tomorrow we should be good to go for when the extreme Z's drop. I thank everybody for sticking around. You know, kind of doing my little tutorial on Dokkan, but hopefully tomorrow we'll be ready to go for the new content. And until then, hope you all have a great day, and till next time.